A world where the Arctic is no longer a frozen frontier, but a battleground for global powers. This is the new reality unfolding before our eyes. China's Coast Guard has entered the Arctic Ocean for the first time in a joint patrol with Russia, marking a significant shift in global maritime dynamics. Just a day before, the U.S. Coast Guard spotted 4 vessels from Russia and China in the Bering Sea, the northernmost point ever observed for Chinese ships. The joint patrol aims to expand the scope of the Coast Guard's ocean-going navigation and test their ability to carry out missions in unfamiliar waters. A banner on one of the Chinese vessels read, "China Coast Guard devoting its heart to the party, demonstrating loyalty in the Arctic Ocean." While Russia has not officially acknowledged the patrol, Chinese state broadcaster CCTV confirmed it took place a few days ago. The U.S. Coast Guard reported the vessels were transiting in formation in a northeast direction, 5 miles inside Russia's exclusive economic zone. The Bering Sea, a critical waterway between Russia and Alaska, connects to the Arctic Ocean through the narrow Bering Strait. Rear Admiral Megan Dean of the U.S. Coast Guard highlighted the increased interest in the Arctic by strategic competitors like China and Russia. The U.S. has raised concerns about China's growing role and coordination with Russia in the strategically sensitive Arctic region. In July, U.S. and Canadian forces intercepted Russian and Chinese bombers flying together near Alaska for the first time. Last year, China and Russia agreed to strengthen their maritime law enforcement cooperation, with China observing Russia's Arctic Patrol 2023 drills. Analysts believe this new patrol is a message to Washington, challenging the U.S.'s traditional dominance in these waters. China's Coast Guard, operating farther north, signals its intent to extend its reach into areas the U.S. considers its own domain. Beijing has long sought to increase its footprint in the Arctic, declaring itself a near-Arctic state and investing heavily in Russian energy projects. Russia, historically cautious of China in the Arctic, may be changing its stance due to its increasing reliance on China post-Ukraine war. The U.S. Department of Defense warned that growing cooperation between Russia and China could alter the Arctic's stability and threat landscape. Observers note that Russia's focus on controlling access to the Arctic may now be influenced by economic and political considerations. Skeptics argue that Chinese vessels may not have operated in the Arctic Ocean proper, as ice-breaking capabilities are required north of the Bering Strait. China's Coast Guard, part of the People's Armed Police, has been at the forefront of asserting territorial claims in disputed waters. As climate change melts sea ice, China's vision for a polar Silk Road linking Asia to Europe becomes more viable, marking a new era in global maritime strategy.
Yeah!